Hello, welcome to our Best Resource Fair Terminology and Funding 101 presentation. My name is Matthew Landau, and I'm one of the Best Committee members. So thank you so much for joining me for this presentation on whenever you're watching it. So today I just wanted to start by going over some just basic terminology around like funding. So I'm calling it Terminology and Funding 101. So I'm going to go to our next slide right over here, and I'm going to start going through some of these terms. So the first is CAU, and CAU stands for Community Alternatives Unlimited. It is an adult case management agency. So the most important thing about CAU for our local area is they are our PASS agency. They're our pre-admission screening for independent service coordination. So if any of you have heard of the PUNS list or want to get on the PUNS list, or need just more information about the PUNS list or anything like that, not only can you come to our, a best committee member that serves you, you can also go to Community Alternatives Unlimited. This is what they do. They help with all those initial conversations, information, guidance, and they will, if you meet all the criteria, they will help you apply to get on the PUNS list. So the PUNS list, our next term, is a priority of urgency of need for services. So this is so it has to be an individual with with a disability, and they really need a lot of help. They really need a lot of support, and you're just not really able to provide that. Unfortunately, you are not guaranteed funding from the PUNS list. Illinois simply does not have enough money put into this program. So it is a lottery system for home-based funding. I don't want you to think of like a traditional lottery, though. There are ways to move yourself up on the list. Like I said, it has a lot to do with your urgency of needs, has a lot to do with how long you've been on the list. If you're continuing to update them, on all the things that you need to do to make sure that they know that you're in urgent need of services. I can speak to that in more detail as well. The next term is DRS. You probably have heard this. It's the Division of Rehabilitation Services, vocational rehabilitation. This is an agency that will support your student and child with disabilities in development of employment skills and assist with job placement. So while if your child is still in school, they may be working with DRS. They may be doing vocational training experiences, but DRS is a service that is available to your child their entire life. So there's a high school division to it, but there's also an adult agency that can help your child. I always remember being in a meeting and hearing one of my counselors speak about her 42-year-old daughter who reopened her case with DRS and was able to receive their employment services to find a new job. Okay. So the next that I want to really highlight and just make sure to point out, this is separate from the PUNS list. This is separate from CAU, okay? This is DRS Home Service. So this is a different avenue of funding provided from Medicaid. So your child does have to have Medicaid to assist with needs. This you definitely want to be contacting your managed care coordinator. That's if you have Medicaid, or your local school DRS representative. Services the money can be used for include a personal assistant. This could be an individual in your family over the age of 18 who's being paid money to help support your child who's still living in the home. It could be an aunt, uncle, grandparent, but it is a way to help pay for just all the things that families are already doing, and can be very overwhelming on the day in day out. So I do have a link right here that will get you to the IDHS Home Service Program. So this is through the Illinois Department of Human Services, and this is a description on the Home Service Program right here. What is the purpose of this service? what services are offered. So it's a lot more than I listed, but personal assistant, homemaker service, maintenance home health, electric home responses, home delivered meals, adult daycare, assistive equipment, environmental modifications, and respite services. So please take the time and look over this website. It will have all the information you need on how to apply, how are services provided, who can receive these services, and even a little bit more information if you need it. So this is right here in our funding presentation right here, and it can help guide you towards that. All right, moving on to our next page. I mentioned it before, but a managed care coordinator. I had not heard of this until a few years ago, but this is your Medicaid contact person. So, not every individual who has Medicaid or Medicare has a managed care plan or managed care coordinator. But if you do, this is definitely a person that you can be reaching out to. Okay. Um, some other things that you may have heard of, and this is when you would have started to hear about CAU, puns, and all this kind of thing, is it has a lot to do with the transition plan. So your transition plan is required by state and federal law to prepare young adults for life after they age out of school or the transition program based on their individual IEPs. So if you think that your child may need more support or more services, or just need more time to continue to develop all their skills to live independently and be independent, this is when you talk about it. You talk about it in the transition plan. And in the state of Illinois, all these services, they all cost money. And it can be similar to sending your child to college when it comes to fees and costs and things if you're looking over the long term. I know that um, I'm already preparing to send my kids to college, and I know that I have to budget anywhere from 50 to $80,000 over their, maybe 4 to 6 year college career. And I want you to start thinking about, budgeting that same, maybe not that same amount, but just thinking about budgeting in the same way for our children that may need more supports and may not be going to college. Um, Something that they may be going to may be like day training or a day training program. And this is a program that's staffed and supervised programs that focus on various areas of teaching and leisure activities. So if you feel like your child just needs more time in developing those independent traveling skills or work skills or independent living skills, they may need to join a program after their 22nd birthday and continue learning those skills. Okay. Um, Home-based funding is something that you may have heard of. This is money that you get from the PUNS lottery to pay for day training programs, housing, therapies, or to name just a few examples. So here's the Illinois Department of Human Services again, their home-based service program overview. It's kind of a write-up right here, but to just summarize, it is money for your child to live a full life, and it is an appropriate amount of money to help support them live a full life. Um, the amount varies based on the funding that you're already getting, but the general rule of thumb is that it would be like triple your SSI or your SSDI. Okay. Just continuing on with a few more terms. Medicare and Medicaid are pretty familiar terms. Medicare is our federal health insurance program for individuals 65 or older and certain younger people with disabilities. So it does not only apply to the elderly. Okay. Medicaid is our federal healthcare system for those who require financial assistance. So we care for the elderly and we aid those who financially cannot support everything. Okay. You've also may have heard the terms SSI and SSDI. This is supplementary security income or social security disability insurance. These are funding avenues for individuals with disabilities. And Sorry. And then we have vocational training / work learning experiences. These are non-paid job practice within the school or volunteer sites outside of the school. So this could be through, like I said, this could be through your school setting up volunteer opportunities, let's say at a library, at another school, at an animal shelter, at a restaurant. But they are non-paid. They're opportunities for your child to learn job skills and learn how to get to and from work independently. And these programs do exist when your child graduates out of high school or their post-secondary program through the public school system. And there's lots of programs that continue this education from 22 and on. Another term that you may have heard of is a CILA. It is a community integrated living arrangement. It's a supervised home environment in which 8 or fewer people with developmental disabilities live together. I'm sure you've also heard of group homes. But CILA is kind of the new term in that it is really community integrated. They're supposed to be in areas accessible to grocery shopping, public transportation, entertainment, so that your child can really live independently and live on their own, but still have a person there to kind of help out with some things that you would help them identify as needs for your child. This is Social Security benefits for people with disabilities. So there's SSI, which is Supplementary Security Income, and this benefit is based on financial need for individuals with little to no income and resources. So it's definitely something that you apply for, and it's based on the family income. And then we've got SSDI, which is Social Security Disability Income, and these are benefits to you and certain members of your family if you're insured, meaning that you worked long enough and paid Social Security taxes. So this is mostly a benefit for like parents, right? You've been paying into Social Security for a very long time, and if you have a child disabled before the age of 22, they're able to collect SSDI from a parent who is disabled, retired, or in the worst case scenario, no longer with us and deceased. But all the money they've paid into that system can still really benefit their child. So here's the Social Security benefits for people with disabilities. There's a link right here on the website to get you to the Social Security website. And it kind of goes over the benefits, just an overview, how to like program information, getting the benefits, how to apply, benefit eligibility screening tool to see if this is something that you can get for your child. Okay, and it just goes through, and you can contact your ugh, contact your local Social Security office, and you can always request a review to go over everything that you are providing, and just really have a point person to help you with that. I'm now going to go into CAU and the PUNS funding, and just a little bit more in detail. So just to clarify, CAU is a pass agency. They are the ones that sign you up for the PUNS program. You get on the PUNS list and you sit and you wait on the PUNS list. Every year, you contact your PUNS list, your CAU representative, and you update them on what is going on in your child's life. Often you want to make sure to focus on their challenges. While we are like my children personally, typically developing, or an individual with disabilities, they're always growing, they're always making progress, and they're always learning. But that is not what you want to focus on when you are talking with CAU. Okay, you need to focus on what your child's needs are. You need to be very clear that they are not independent in getting ready in the morning. They cannot ride the bus. They do not prepare their own meals. Share safety concerns, like they walk away from you when you're at the grocery store. Anything that you feel would raise their need for funding, their need for a supervisor in a home, their need for more services. That is what you need to focus on. So home-based funding is 3 times the current Social Security payment. So an example would be you're currently getting $800 a month in SSI. If you were selected for the PUNS program, so you get chosen, and they start to give you your like Medicaid waiver funds, it is 3 times whatever you are getting. So I can't give an exact amount, but if you're already receiving SSI or SSDI, you can just multiply that by 3. So I gave the example of $800. No one can, you can't live off of $800. You can't live off that in this Cook County, Lake County area. That's just simply not even enough money for housing. And they recognize that. So when you get selected, they're giving you enough money to really function in your everyday life every month. And that's why they're providing 3 times that amount. So in this example, $2,400 a month. $2,400 a month to help with pay your living expenses. $2,400 a month to help pay for your programs, medical expenses. Housing, can include your own apartment or supported housing like a SILA or a large group home. So here's a link. Yet again, the Illinois Department of Human Services, all about the PUNS program. There's a brochure that you can download. What services are available, possible services included, training programs, adaptive equipment, other supports to improve your quality of life. Basically, this one lets me know that if you can justify it, they're kind of open to using funding for it. How you can access the services. You must first contact your PASS or ISC agency for an interview. This is CAU. CAU is our local PASS agency. And you can see they kind of are outlining the urgency. So you can either be contacting them because there's an emergency, you could be contacting them because things are really difficult, or you can be contacting them because you're starting the planning process. What if your needs change? You need to make sure to evaluate at least once per year and contact them. And then they've got your local agencies. So you can see in the Chicago area, we got CAU, Community Alternatives Unlimited. So it's all right there on their website as well. The last thing that I have to go over, and I just want to, this one is very important to me because this is funding that would be available to you much, much sooner than CAU PUNS list and then being selected from the PUNS list to get your funding. Okay, if you've already receiving those monthly funds. Okay, so if you qualify, you can receive home service funding to pay for student needs of individuals who qualify. So the two that I kind of highlighted that I've seen the most are respite. So staff come to your home to care for the individual. A family member over 18 can provide respite, or nursing. So if an individual requires a high level of medical needs in home or at school, one-on-one nursing can be provided through this service. So qualifications for the home service program are right here. What is the purpose? It's to provide services to individuals with severe disabilities so they can remain in their homes and be as independent as possible. So these are all the services that are offered. The electronic home response system, something like Life Alert, they can pay for that. They can pay for the personal assistant, respite services. So this is where an adult can come in and kind of watch your child for you while you go out and take care of just the many needs that we all have. Who can receive these services? Anyone under the age of 60 who needs help with daily living activities. That's a really broad spectrum that you can kind of qualify under. So I really recommend looking into this avenue, this home service program. I really recommend doing both. You really want to get in contact with CAU. You really want to get on the PUNS list. You want to make sure that you're getting any SSI funding or SSDI funding that you can. And you want to make sure you're utilizing that. You're qualifying for your home service programs. You're getting everything that you can from the state to set up your family and your child for the most success possible. So this is, please, take your time, review this, go over, read the links. But this is it's a really nice, just basic terminology around funding for your child as you start to head down this path. You know that you can always access any of your best committee members if you need any further explanations or just want to meet and you want to start planning. Also, make sure to reach out to your local DRS representative. They may be a part of your school, um, but they may not be as well. So these are the people that you want to reach out to. So reach out to your DRS representatives, reach out to your best committee members, and we will always be there to help guide you through this whole process. So I really appreciate you taking the time to be with me today. I will see you again, hopefully in person at our next best committee. All right, everyone, you have a great day and you take care. Bye.